Hey everyone, Justin here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite gifts for even the pickiest triathlete or runner in your life. Alright, so if you're watching this video and you have a swimmer or a cyclist or a runner in your life, you probably know how really hard we are to shop for. We tend to go out and buy the things we want right away. We do a ton of research to make sure we're getting the exact thing we want. Generally, it's just really hard for someone who's not in the sport to tell what's a good gift or what isn't. This video is focused entirely on that type of person, and it's stuff that anyone, if they're in the sport, should generally get some value out of. Of course, there's links to all the products that I recommend specifically in the description below, and then at the end of this video, if you liked it, I would super appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the list. Number one right away is a gym towel. This is the type of thing that I didn't know existed for a really long time. I just used a giant big cotton towel at the gym. Super frustrating. It took up a ton of space and I had to wash it at the end of every night because it never dried. This solves both of those problems. So obviously it's super small. You can just hook it to the outside of your gym bag. It'll be dry by the time you get home. You don't need to wash it every single night. It just makes the whole gym showering experience a lot more enjoyable. And for 20 bucks, definitely a great stocking stuffer that I would give to every single person who works out in a gym. Number two on the list is not a physical thing, but it's something that I've only had one time and I thoroughly loved it, and most people don't buy for themselves, which is a post-race massage. I've gotten one once as part of my entry. It's the type of thing that most people won't buy for themselves, but they will definitely enjoy. So if you want to get this for your person, go to the race that they're signed up for, reach out to the organizers, and then print off a little certificate to stuff in their stocking, and they will totally thank you for it. Number three on the list is two things great for recovery: a foam roller and a lacrosse ball. These will run you about $20, $25, and these you can get for just a couple of dollars. Put your body weight on them and you roll your muscles out after a really long exercise. And if your athlete does not use one of these, they're in for a surprise, because breaking up those deep muscle knots can actually be really painful, but it's great for recovery. They noticeably decrease the amount of day after soreness that you have, and generally these are a fantastic investment, especially for the cost. They basically saved my running. The cool thing about foam rollers and lacrosse balls is they're all pretty much the same, so you don't need to stress about which one's which. Grab a cheap one, they all work perfectly fine, and your athlete will thank you. Number four on the list is as much a gift for you as it is for them, and that is a road ID. If you've not heard of them, essentially it's a bracelet which contains a printed metal piece including your athlete's name, address, contact information, insurance information, allergies. Something bad happens, maybe they're unconscious. If first responders or EMS don't have a way to get a hold of that information, that can present a challenge, especially for the type of athlete who runs or bikes a long way away from home, doesn't carry an ID or a phone on them. It's a really good piece of investment gear that I think more people should use. It's not the type of thing that most people would buy for themselves. It's something that we don't want to consider as something that could happen to us. That said, it's definitely the type of thing that if someone gave to me, I would throw on, I would wear. It doesn't weigh anything, it's not annoying. It's just a good peace of mind gear. Number five on the list is a good pair of recovery compression socks. So the research is mixed as to whether or not compression gear has any benefits during exercise, but it's generally agreed upon for recovery, wearing compression socks for a day or two significantly reduces the sort of achiness and delayed onset soreness. Similarly to a lot of the other gear that I'm talking about today, it's something that will noticeably help. There's not a lot of options here. It's a tight sock. Pick the one you want. They all work generally the same, and it should help with their soreness the next day. Number six on the list is another pair of socks. Darn tough socks, and they have become my absolute go-to running sock. They have a fantastic warranty. Pretty much if they ever wear out, Darn Tough will replace them. They're made out of merino wool, so I can use these in 95 degrees in the summer, 15-20 degrees in the winter. They keep your feet dry. I never have blisters with these. These have about 1,000 miles of running in them. They're showing very little wear. If they eventually do wear out and I don't feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of them, let them know and they would send me a replacement pair of socks. Great company, made in the USA. Especially if your runner is using just old cotton socks, these are going to be a pretty drastic improvement. They do run about 10 or 15 bucks, which is enough that I think a lot of runners won't go out and purchase them. When it's the critical piece of gear that stops your feet from getting hot, sweaty, and blisters, I think it's worth it. Great stocking stuffer, and they become one of my favorite pieces of gear. Number 7 on the list is a little bit more expensive, and it assumes that you have a cyclist who's using an indoor trainer. They hate it because indoor training can be dreadfully, dreadfully boring. There's 2 new services out on the market right now which hope to fix that, as well as making your person a better athlete. And those are either TrainerRoad or Zwift. Ultimately, I think either one of them would be a great gift for someone. It's about $100 a year for a subscription. You connect your bike trainer to the software. It essentially gives you workouts or a social space. Experience what it's like to be on a road or in a spin class while you're just on your regular bike trainer. The big difference between the two, Zwift is a little bit more social. So if your person wants to have like a social element, connect with other riders across the world, maybe go the Zwift route. TrainerRoad is a little bit more workout based, closer to like having a coach or a spin class. That said, they're both functionally going to do the same thing. They're going to make indoor training a lot more enjoyable. And especially as we move into the winter months, if your person has a trainer and they hate it, getting either Zwift or TrainerRoad is probably going to make that experience a lot better for about $100 a year. Super cool gift. Coming in at number 8, and the last item on our list, is a bike multi-tool. It continually shocks me the amount of people I know who will ride 50, 60 miles away from their house and they don't carry basic maintenance tools that might be required to get them home in the event something breaks on their bike. You can pick one of these up depending on the one you get for anywhere from $10 to $25, $35. Just make sure to get one that all has a variety of tools, anywhere from 10 to 15. They put the most important tools on there. You don't necessarily need to get the one that has every tool known to man. Ultimately, what it comes down to is if you have a cyclist in your life and they're not riding with one of these, be sure to grab one. It's an awesome stocking stuffer for $15, $20. Hopefully this is the type of thing that they'll never actually need to use, but in the event that they're 30 or 40 miles away from their house, something breaks on their bike, it's going to be an absolute lifesaver for them. All right, one little bonus item that barely even counts, but I will always tell people to throw energy gels in as a really cool stocking stuffer. A lot of runners and endurance athletes will not switch brands because we have one that we like, but for a stocking stuffer, if you just want to get a few different brands, different flavors, it'll definitely help your runner branch out and try something new. I just discovered these Huma brand Chia, and I would not have tried one if I hadn't had them thrown my way. So especially with energy gels coming in at about $1, $1.50 each, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and it'll give your person something new to look forward to. That's it, everybody. That's the top 8 things that I think every triathlete or runner is going to really enjoy having under the tree this year. If you found any value to this video, I would super appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you already haven't. There's a ton more of gear reviews, tips, and training advice coming down the pipeline, and you can also follow along with me as I work towards my first full Ironman next year. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody. Go do some awesome training of your own. See ya.